A long time ago, there was a land so fertile that it was compared to the Garden of Eden. In its heart lay two twin cities, Sodom and Gomorrah. Now these cities were rich, powerful, and overflowing with abundance. But beneath the surface, darkness thrived. The people were arrogant, violent, and utterly corrupted. They showed no mercy to strangers. Justice was perverted and immorality ruled their streets. God saw what was happening, and he heard the cries of the innocent. So he sent 3 mysterious visitors to Abraham, a man who walked with God. One of these visitors was the Lord himself. He told Abraham, "The outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and their sin is very grave." Then God said, "I will go down now and see whether or not they have really acted as wickedly as this outcry against them requires. If I find, I will leave them." Abraham pleaded for mercy. "If only 10 righteous can be found there," he said. "Out of the 10, if only 9 are found, will you spare it for their sakes?" Then God said, "For their sake I will not destroy it." So the angels continued toward the city. Now in Sodom there was a man named Lot, Abraham's nephew, who tried to stand for righteousness. But that night the men of Sodom surrounded Lot's home. They demanded to assault the angelic visitors who had come to destroy the city. It was the final straw. The angels pulled Lot and his family out of the house, but warned them, "Do not look back." As they fled, the men of Sodom pursued them outside the city. Then something amazing happened. The heavens opened. Fire and burning sulfur rained down from above. The skies roared, the earth trembled, and in a matter of moments both cities were obliterated. They were turned into ash and swallowed in divine wrath. Now Lot's wife looked back, perhaps to see what caused such a terrible destruction, and instantly she turned into a pillar of salt. You see, God doesn't take pleasure in destroying his creation. He warned them to flee, and he gave them an opportunity to escape. But they chose to stay, and so God judged them according to their choice. Dear friends, we need to remember that God is just and merciful. Yes, he desires that all people should turn from their wicked ways and live, but he also hates sin and unrighteousness. So when we see the judgments of God, let's remember that they are always in proportion to the sins of mankind. Look at Genesis chapter 19, verses 24 to 26. The Lord rained down on Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and the vegetation of the land. And he spared Lot, being a relative of Abraham, when he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. In this passage, notice that Lot was spared because he was a relative of Abraham, a man who walked with God. But the cities and the people and everything around them was completely destroyed. Do you see that? God's judgments are always in proportion to the sins of mankind. And although God is just and hates sin, he is also full of mercy and longs for people to repent and turn from their evil ways. This is why he sent prophets to warn the people of Israel over and over again, like Noah, when he preached to the people 40 days before the flood, or Lot, who warned the people of Sodom and Gomorrah to turn from their wickedness. But sometimes, like in the case of Pharaoh, the more God warns, the more they harden their hearts. Pharaoh hardened his heart against God over and over again, and God was forced to judge him. When Pharaoh finally repented, it was too late. God's judgment was executed and Egypt suffered greatly. Dear friends, I want to challenge you today to turn from your wicked ways while you can. Repent and believe in the good news. Don't harden your heart like Pharaoh or look back like Lot's wife, because the longer you delay in doing so, the greater the judgment might become. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, God bless you, and remember, Jesus loves you.